Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, how are you today? Yeah, so today we will learn about grammar for beginner. Are you ready to learn together with me, everyone? Yeah, we can start now, yeah. So there are five the material that we discuss. The first material is part of speech. That is noun and pronoun. And then we will discuss about determiner. For the next, we will discuss about present and present continuous tense. For the last, we will discuss about present perfect and past tense. Okay, our discussion first is pronoun. The definition of pronoun is a pronoun used to replace a noun or non-phrase in a sentence. Yeah. Inside the pronoun, there are subject, object, possessive, adjective, possessive pronoun, and reflexive pronoun. Okay, we can start from subject. Inside the subject, there are I, you, we, they, she, he, and it. In the object, there are me, you, us, them, her, him, and it. Me for I, you for you in the subject, us for we, them for they, her for she, him for he, and it for it in the subject. There is not for you that you have to know, she for female and he for male. Okay, next, possessive adjective. There are my, your, our, their, her, his, and its. My for I in the subject, your for you, our for we, their for they, her for she, his for he, its for it. And then possessive pronoun. There are mine, yours, ours, theirs, hers, his. Mine for I, yours for you, ours for we, theirs for thee, hers for she, his for he. Okay, the last, reflexive pronoun. There are myself, yourself, ourselves, themselves, herself, himself, and itself. Myself for I, yourself for you, ourselves for we, themselves for they, herself for she, in the subject, himself for he, and itself for its. Okay, our next material is noun. The definition of noun is an English noun used to name a person, creature, place, thing, and idea. Any idea. For example, like a dog, man, or what's again, idea, or like book. Yeah, it is a noun. Nouns are divided into two, namely, the first is countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Countable nouns are for things count. We can count using number. Countable nouns are divided into two. There is singular and plural. The singular, for example, like a dog, or an apple, one dog, one dog. And next plural, for example, two cats, three cats, two dogs, and three dogs. They are not for you that you have to know. Plural often add s or es. at the end of the noun. Yeah, you can understand, right? Okay, for the next uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns are for the thing that we cannot count with number. For example, like a tea, coffee, or yeah, sugar. What's again? Uh, water. Yeah, it is cannot count with number. Uncountable nouns usually have another word added before nouns. For example, like some or a cup of and a bit of. For example, sentence is I drink a cup of coffee or you drink a cup of water or you drink a cup of tea. Yeah, you can understand, right? Okay, for the next, our discussion is determiner. Determiner is a word placed before a noun to provide additional information about the noun. Yeah, there are eight types in the determiner. That is, there are article, demonstrative, possessives, quantifiers, numbers, distributives, interrogatives, and the last articles plus quantifiers. Yeah, articles plus quantifiers. Okay, the first is article. There are two types, namely is definite article and indefinite article. I mean like that. Definite article is for example, the cat or the sun, anything. And indefinite article is a and an. For example, a cat or an apple, an idea. Yeah. Okay, next demonstratives. There are this, that, this, and those. For example, this book or this laptop or this car. Yeah, those cars like that. Okay, next is possessives. There are my, your, his, her, its, our, and their. For example, is my bag and your name and what's again? Your house and anything. Okay, next quantifiers. There are some, any, many, much, few, and several. For example, is some water, many students, some people, yeah, anything. Okay, next is a number. There are one, two, three, anything. For example, two dogs and what's here? Three cats. Yeah, like that. Okay, for the next distributives, there are each, every, either, neither. For example, each student and anything. Okay, next interrogatives. There are which, what, and was. For example, which car do you like? Or which one that you like? Yeah, anything. Okay, next, the last is article plus quantifiers. Like a few, a little, anything. For example, a few apples and a little sugar. I think you can understand, okay? Okay, the next material is simple present tense and present continuous tense. Okay, we will go to the simple present tense first. The simple present tense has several functions. That is, to say an event that happens repeatedly. For example, I go to school every morning. Okay, and then to speak the truth. For example, the earth is round. Okay, next functions is to say the ability. For example, she speaks English fluently. Okay, next, to write a headline. For example, Jokowi, our president's visit to Jakarta. There are two parts of simple present tense, namely verbal and nominal. In its types, there are three formulas, namely positive, negative, and interrogative sentence. Okay, we will go to the verbal formula first. In the subject I, you, they, we, the verb does not change. But in the subject she, he, it, the verb gets an additional s or es. The formula of positive sentence is subject plus verb 1, s or es, plus object or adverb. For example, I always cook fried rice in the kitchen. The next formula is negative sentence. Subject I, you, they, we have to edit, while subjects is she, he, it use does. Verbs do not change for all subjects, not like in the positive sentence. Okay, the negative formula is subject plus do or does plus not plus verb 1 plus object or verb. For example, I don't like sugar. Okay, the next formula is interrogative sentence. The formula is do or does plus subject plus verb 1 plus object or adverb. For example, do you like orange? The next types is nominal. Nominal sentence are sentences that do not have a verb and must use the to be. The to be is I, are, and is. I'm for I, are for you, we, and they, is for she, he, and it. The positive formula is subject plus to be plus complement or adverb. For example, I am happy. The negative formula is subject plus to be plus complement or adverb. For example, I don't like orange. Okay, the next formula is interrogative sentence. That is to be plus subject plus complement or adverb. For example, are you sad? Or is she clever? Yeah, like that. Okay, the next material that we discuss is present continuous tense. Present continuous tense has several functions. That is to describe events that are happening and then to talk about changing circumstances. For example, the population is rising fast. Okay, we will go to the formula. The first formula is positive sentence. That is subject plus to be plus verb in plus object. For example, I am playing guitar. Okay, next, negative sentence. Subject plus to be plus not plus verb in plus object. For example, I'm not watching television. Okay, next is interrogative sentence. Is to be plus subject plus verb in plus object. For example, are you playing Mobile Legend? Yeah, maybe that's all in the present continuous tense. Okay, the next material is present perfect. The definition of present perfect is a sentence pattern with a change in the form of a verb that is used to express a past action or event that continues to this day. Okay, we will go to the verbal formula first. The first is positive sentence, that is subject plus have or has plus verb 3. In interrogative sentence, that is subject plus have or has plus not plus verb 3. For example, Andy has not got in the negative sentence. Okay, next is interrogative sentence, that is have or has plus subject plus verb 3. For example, has Ifat studied? Okay, the next formula is nominal. The first formula is positive, that is subject plus have or has plus been plus complement. In negative, that is subject plus have or has plus not plus been plus complement. In interrogative sentence, that is have or has plus subject plus been plus complement. For example, in interrogative sentence, has he been busy this week? Like that. Okay, the next material is simple past tense. The definition of simple past tense are tenses that show actions that happened in the past and were completed at a certain time in the past. Okay, in the simple past tense formula, we will go to the verbal formula first. The first is positive sentence, that is subject plus verb 2 plus complement. For example, the nurse went to the hospital yesterday. Okay, next, negative sentence, that is subject plus did plus not and plus verb 1. For example, the nurse didn't go to the hospital yesterday. Okay, the next is interrogative sentence, that is did plus subject plus verb 1. For example, did the nurse go to the hospital yesterday? Okay, the next formula is nominal. The positive sentence, that is subject plus to be. This to be that we use is was and were. Was for I, she, he, it. Were for you, we, they. Okay, we'll come back to the formula. Positive formula, positive sentence, that is subject plus to be plus complement. For example, I was a teacher. Okay, next, negative sentence, that is subject plus to be plus not and plus complement. For example, we were not tired. Okay, and then interrogative sentence, that is to be plus subject and plus complement. For example, was Ethan happy to work here? Was Ethan happy to work here? Okay, maybe that's all from me. Thank you. Hopefully useful. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you next later, brother.